Hey, Fragrance Family, I'm Daver.
And I'm Quinn.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Come at you again with another review, this time with special guest Quinn from his channel Niche Niche. How are you doing, Quinn?
I'm doing great. Daver, how are you?
Doing great, and really glad to have you on. Thanks again.
Awesome. Glad to be here.
So I really like your channel. I really like some of the videos that I've seen from you, and I've seen your wife come on as a special guest a couple of times, so that's really cool too. So today we are reviewing John Varvatos Dark Rebel. Alright, so let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2015. It's classified as a woody oriental. Notes are rum, sugarcane, cardamom, davana, clary sage, fir resin, leather, nutmeg, pepper, styrax, akigala wood, tobacco leaf, vanilla, castoreum, balmy wood, whatever that is, and juniper. Now, Quinn, what'd you get out of longevity out of this?
I got good longevity. I got around, I would say, 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah, I got in the same range too. I would say is in the average range, which I like. Always happy with average here.
Can't complain about those.
What about projection?
It seemed to be projecting really good in the beginning, up until about the 3-hour mark, where it kind of starts to get closer to the skin. I wouldn't say it's beast mode, but I would say it's above average projection for me.
Yeah, I agree. This one was one that had a really wide variance. At first it is really loud, and then it just plummets real fast and becomes more of a closer skin scent about half the lifespan. I don't know, I guess overall in the average range, but kind of a weird variance there. Season, I would say this is great for fall and winter, and I think this can be for nights mostly. I think this probably works best at nights.
I agree. Definitely a night scent. Date scent,
yeah.
Possibly.
Which that brings me to purpose, which I would say works well for casual. I think it also works really well for formal, and it would do really well for a certain type of date.
Yeah. I don't really see this one being much of a professional work environment type scent.
Yeah, I agree. And I also don't think this would be very good for a first date either. I think this is one of those where you really want to project the bad boy image. It's one of those type of scents.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So Quinn, what does this remind you of?
Well, I believe I had mentioned this before whenever I first tried this, and you had sent me the sample, but my initial impression of this, for some weird reason, reminded me of the dentist. So
yeah.
I don't know where I got that association from. Honestly, it must be from some old memory a long time ago, because I ended up getting a full bottle of it, and I've worn it quite a bit. It no longer reminds me of the dentist. So.
I want to go to that dentist. My friend Dan Mish, we all know Dan Mish, he actually sent me the decant. Whenever I smelled it, I was like, oh man, this is so Dan. This is Dan.
It is Dan.
Exactly. Whenever I think of him, I think of, energy and leather and motorcycles and, all that Dan is.
Yeah.
And whenever I smell it, it's that. As far as smell, you definitely get a very boozy rum note with leather and tobacco. Really good. There's kind of an ambery kind of tone in the background. There's also like this green note in there, which I think is the fir resin. And it kind of brings almost like a cleanness to it. But it really does have like this kind of bad boy image type of thing. And it's one of those things where we've talked about this before, but the name is kind of hokey, okay?
It is.
Dark Rebel.
Dark Rebel.
At the same time, though, it really kind of evokes exactly what the fragrance is. And it is like that James Dean bad boy type of fragrance. Whenever I smell it, it really reminds me of that classic James Dean picture of him on a motorcycle with his leather jacket on and not looking at the camera with a cigarette in his mouth, like he just doesn't give a crap. Yeah, it really has like that old school bad boy type of attitude. But at the same time, it doesn't smell old. It has this real modern edge to it. My one complaint that I have, and maybe you're going to go here too, is the Drydown.
Oh, I really did not like the Drydown on this.
Yeah.
It goes off into this weird, gentle, smoky kind of synthetic woody scent, and it just wasn't appealing to me at all. Once that sweetness and that green center with the that resinous fir resin and cardamom, and I got quite a bit of juniper in this.
Yeah, I can see that. And that might also be what I'm smelling too, because juniper has like that evergreen type of smell. So maybe it's mixed with that fir resin type of smell too. Maybe it's a similar accord that we're smelling.
I really like the boozy opening. The opening is my absolute favorite. I wish it hung around a lot longer. I love the sweetness to it. It's not overly sweet, but it's just got this nice, sweet whiskey, tobacco, manly type scent. That's my favorite part of it. And when that goes away, it's just kind of all downhill from there.
Yeah, I totally agree. The opening really is the best part because the opening is just amazing. It's like the first half is incredible. It's just all that opening with that boozy tobacco leather scent. And then once it goes past that, then it just becomes like this really blah, woody, musky scent.
Yeah.
And I really hated the Drydown. Like, I did not like it at all. It lost all of the interesting qualities. Didn't really smell that great. But at the same time, you know, because it dies down so quick in projection, this is one of those scents where you can kind of just reapply with a little decant and you're back up to speed, you know?
Yeah, true. It's kind of like the wedding cake. It's all beautiful and everything, and then your clumsy best man comes over and knocks your cake over and it smashes. What happened?
That sounds like a personal story.
No, it's not. I was the best man.
In some aspects, this kind of almost reminds me of like a really rugged bad boy version of The One by Dolce & Gabbana. They're not the same, but they share something there. You know, maybe it's the spiciness, the warmness aspect. But one is nice, the other is bad. You can have both, and I think you can have a double whammy with date scents there that is really nice. Yeah, overall, I really like the scent. It's just, it has certain flaws in it that are very noticeable. But, you know, I mentioned this in my best fragrances of 2015, which I'll have a link down below to that. I still think this is one of the best fragrances of 2015. It's a fantastic fragrance. It just has definite, clear cons with some definite, clear pros. And it just depends on who you are and what you like as to if you will like this or not. I think it's really good, despite its flaws.
Me too.
Now, what about compliments? Did you get any compliments with this?
Oh, yeah. I do get compliments on this. Most of the compliments I got were from up-close encounters. You know, a couple of my friends, I gave them a hug, and they know I wear stuff. They always say I smell good, so they didn't seem to notice a difference that between this and any of my other good-smelling scents.
My wife hates this. Hates it. Does not like it.
Really?
Yeah. She thinks the opening is a little bit better than everything else, but she still hates it. Doesn't like it at all.
You hear that, Dan? Stay away, my friend.
So bang for buck, this is $66 for a 75 ml. I think that is a pretty good deal for what you're getting. I think, you know, eventually as time goes on, the price will go down some more. But I think even now, the price is really good for what you're getting.
Yeah. I think it's good bang for buck.
Now, Quinn, what do you give this final rating?
I give it a 4.5 because I like the opening so much.
I'm going to go slightly lower and say a 4 out of 5. Really like the fragrance. It has some weaknesses, but I can get past those. John Varvatos has a really cool rock and roll style and aesthetic, and this fits perfectly within that line, and I think it is a great scent, one of the best from last year.
Absolutely. I agree.
So that's all we have. Let us know what you think of Dark Rebel down in the comments down below. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know. Of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. And I'll have a link down to Quinn's channel. You can go and check him out. Thanks again, Quinn, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you thanking me, and hope to do some more of these with you.
Yeah, and we have another one coming soon, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Bros.
Bye.
Bye.